Imagine a world where the line between thought and action disappears, where the visions that flicker behind closed eyelids spill into the waking world. A dream, a nightmare, a fleeting thought, all made real. Dreams have always been private, intangible. They are the language of the brain, a mix of memory, emotion, and imagination. They shape who we are, yet they remain invisible. They whisper of our deepest fears, our wildest ambitions, our secret longings. But if they could escape the mind, the rules of existence itself would change. At first it would feel like magic. You dream of flying, and suddenly you soar over the city. You dream of food, and it appears before you. Hunger fades. Disease fades. The impossible becomes ordinary. Human imagination becomes a force of creation greater than any technology, any invention. The world is reborn every night, a canvas repainted by millions of dreaming minds. Yet every gift carries a shadow. Dreams are chaotic, unpredictable, untamed. Nightmares could manifest alongside hope. Fear could take shape in streets, in skies, in homes. What was private becomes public. What was intangible becomes destructive. A single anxious thought could erupt into storms, floods, or creatures unknown. Dreams would no longer belong to the dreamer. They belong to the world. The human brain becomes the engine of reality. Each mind a generator, capable of reshaping existence itself. Every thought, every subconscious impulse could alter the physical world. Dreams are no longer personal. They are global. And with such power, control becomes the most elusive concept of all. Throughout history, humanity has sought to turn imagination into reality. The wheel, fire, flight, the internet, once dreams, now facts. But those inventions required time, labor, and trial. Now the dream itself becomes the tool, immediate and absolute. The consequences are not measured in years or decades. They unfold instantly everywhere for everyone. Society would change first in wonder. Artists manifest sculptures that defy gravity. Architects create buildings that twist, float, and breathe. Children conjure playgrounds that stretch to the clouds. Illness disappears, lives are saved, hunger is gone. Civilization seems to enter a golden age, a period of marvels without end. Then fear begins to seep in. The rules of reality strain under the weight of human thought. Safety becomes uncertain. Cities warp as collective imagination overrides engineering and physics. Laws, governments, even morality struggle to keep pace. One person's dream could erase another's home. One subconscious fear could topple a skyscraper. Chaos is no longer possible, it is inevitable. History offers a mirror. Plagues, natural disasters, nuclear weapons, industrial revolutions. Moments when humanity wielded power it barely understood. Each brought growth and destruction. But the power of dreams surpasses all. A single subconscious fear could topple nations. A collective dream could reshape the climate, the oceans, the very terrain of the earth. Mountains could rise overnight. Rivers could reverse. Cities could vanish. Attempts to impose order would fail. Boundaries are drawn. Dream zones are enforced. Neural filters installed. But imagination cannot be fenced. It cannot be policed. Dreams erupt without warning, reshaping the world in ways impossible to predict. Civilization becomes fragile. Survival depends not on armies, technology, or governance, but on mastery of the mind itself. And yet, even in chaos, possibility thrives. Those who master their dreams could reshape society. Artists, scientists, visionaries, humans capable of understanding the mind and emotion become architects of existence. But mastery is precarious. The human mind is volatile. Jealousy, grief, anger, once private, can become public calamity. Survival depends on mental discipline as much as physical strength. The most dangerous battles are no longer fought with weapons, but with attention, focus, and imagination. Nature, too, is transformed. Forests could grow overnight. Oceans could rise and recede on a whim. Species that never existed could spring into life. Ecosystems, the product of millions of years, are subject to human whim. Life itself could appear or vanish with a thought. Humanity stands as both creator and destroyer, a species capable of molding the very essence of reality, yet powerless against the storms of its own subconscious. Technology becomes secondary. Machines, electricity, even energy grids are rendered obsolete. The mind alone is enough to sustain civilization. Sleep becomes sacred and dangerous. One restless night could reshape a continent, a city, or a single life. The line between imagination and reality blurs until it vanishes completely. Civilization evolves into a delicate ecosystem of consciousness. Every thought has weight. Every fear carries consequence. Every desire leaves a mark. Psychology becomes the most critical science. Understanding emotion, memory, subconscious impulses, once an academic pursuit, becomes a matter of survival. Dreams are no longer private experiments, they are acts of creation and destruction. Knowledge of the human mind is now the greatest weapon and the greatest safeguard. Communication transforms. Words alone are insufficient. Ideas, visions, memories could manifest directly, shared without intermediaries. Culture becomes alive, fluid, unpredictable. Art, music, history, they all live and evolve daily, reshaped by human thought. Literature no longer exists on pages. Music no longer exists in sound alone. Everything is experienced, created, and recreated in reality itself. Yet the risk is constant. A single person consumed by anger could unleash devastation. Collective anxiety could warp climate, geography, life itself. The tiniest flicker of fear could ripple outward, amplified by millions of minds. Humanity lives in perpetual tension, balancing hope and fear, creativity and destruction. Each day is a negotiation with the subconscious, a negotiation with the deepest parts of what it means to be human. Even in chaos, there is beauty. Cities float, creatures unknown wander freely, light bends in new ways, impossible architectures stretch beyond comprehension. Reality itself becomes a canvas, fragile, dangerous, limitless. The universe is no longer predictable. It obeys no rules but the boundless creativity of the human mind. History has always been defined by the boundary between possibility and impossibility. Flight, the printing press, electricity, the internet, all transformed society. Dreams becoming reality would surpass them all. No invention, no government, no structure could compare. Humanity would stand on the threshold of infinite potential. Yet with potential comes peril. Can humans master their own minds, or will their dreams master them? Can society survive when each thought carries the weight of reality? When imagination becomes both a gift and a weapon? When the subconscious dictates survival as much as skill or effort? What would you create if every thought, every desire, every fear could become real? Would you dream of a world rebuilt, healed, and perfect? Or would the shadows of fear, anger, and loss spread unchecked, turning cities into forests of nightmares? In such a world, morality, law, and technology are powerless. Only the mind is absolute. Only consciousness matters. The true challenge of this world is not creating, it is controlling. Every dream carries the potential to inspire or destroy, to elevate or annihilate. Humanity's evolution is no longer measured by knowledge or invention, but by mental discipline and emotional mastery. One restless night, one fleeting fear could undo centuries of progress, or unlock centuries of wonder. Perhaps the ultimate truth is that the line between imagination and reality is not just fragile, it is human. Dreams are not simply stories. They are our power, our burden, and our responsibility. To dream is to act, to imagine is to shape, to fear is to destroy. And in a world where every dream becomes real, nothing is small, nothing is contained, and nothing is safe. What would you dream if every thought, every desire, every fear could shape the world itself?